This is Lilium. Today it is my pleasure to read to you from one of my favorite art books. This one is about Damien Hirst and it's called Relics. So if anyone else out there are kind of nerdy and artsy like I am, then let me know your favorite artist in the comments. Damien Hirst is definitely one of my favorite artists. So I hope that along with the page turning sounds and the explicit boredom you might be subjected to will help you relax and help you sleep and calm down. I'm gonna read the first chapter and then I will put up a next video with the next chapter. The first is called Supernatural Aid, Hirst's Travels, and it's written by Francesco Bonami. Damien Hirst is a painter. That's not to say purely in the literal sense, but rather as someone who paints emotive images and symbolic spaces, much like a performance on a theatrical stage. I would encourage viewers to afford this exhibition the same treatment as one would when standing before a large battle scene, such as the Battle of San Romano by Paolo Coelho, or works by the French painter Jean-Louis Massenet, with each room offering a detail or section of a much larger composition and vision. Different viewers will have different approaches, of course. There will be those who survey the whole picture, and those who focus on its details. Since his early work in the late 1980s, Damien Hirst's intention has been to take reality and give it back to us, subvert it, and yet stronger, and perhaps even clearer. As with many contemporary artists of his generation, his departing station was found in 1917, a work by Marcel Duchamp, the father of conceptual art and, more generally, of contemporary art. The notion is that we don't need to create anything new. Art is all around us. We just need to extract it and show it in a different way. Hirst's already works follow this concept and reinforce the idea literally by highlighting simple everyday objects. Boxes, pans, the kitchen cupboard, by means of bright colors, or by using ready-made items such as over-the-counter medicine boxes and assembling them like grid painting. His medicine cabinets remind one of softer versions of Motherhood paintings or Joseph Cornell's boxes, but in Hirst's case reduced to the chemical essence of our lives. Relics, the title chosen by Hirst for his retrospective in Doha, begins with a kitchen and ends with a pharmacy. Two spaces that symbolize comfort and discomfort. Two borders that define Hirst's kingdom. The Kingdom, 2008, is also the title of the work destined to greet or scare the viewer at the beginning of their journey into Hirst's realm. a shark suspended in formaldehyde, like a contemporary Cerberus, guards the entrance of this very personal underworld created by the artist, where Hirst plays the role of the hero from an epic novel, asking the viewer to follow him into a universe of his own mythology. Hirst's journey essentially mirrors the cycle of life through themes that are as ancient as humankind: love, death, pain, sickness, beauty, hope. Through Hirst's different processes and languages, one witnesses the struggle between his self and his ego, the ego as the central to the artist's consciousness, seeking to assert itself through the work. The self, if presented as the whole exhibition, forms the circumference of the center and does not need the artist's identity or signature to assert itself. Through the exhibition, one will encounter works that are bound to the artist's ego, and works that get closer and closer to free the self. Hirst's idea of art swings between tragedy and comedy in equal measures, as seen in life. Death is the only end to human life, and Hirst deals with and states this tragedy, bringing with it the sad pain of the realization of this ultimate truth. But he does not subside under the pain of truth. Many of his works have the ability, as in comedy, to find joy alongside pain. This is often revealed by his titles such as Beautiful Rotating, Murdering, Mating Dance of a Peacock Painting from 2007. Whilst being utterly incomprehensible, it simultaneously contains many of her subjects entangled together, yet made visible. Something he has been consistent with from the start. The young Damien Hirst made that clear with a photo from his teenage years, taken at the Anatomy Museum of Leeds University Medical School in 1981, which seemed to portend the kind of journey he was subconsciously embarking upon. The photo, printed in 1991, shows a young man grinning next to a severed head of a man who appears seemingly annoyed by his presence. With this image, Hirst, as a young hero, was crossing the first threshold to enter the physical world, where the struggle or dialogue between life and death becomes central for any human being. Very simple, but at the same time, an almost impossible challenge. The image of the lively guy next to the dead man makes it clear that either you play with death almost mockingly in order to distract it, or you fight it to seek immortality. Hirst didn't take long to understand that the latter option was the better one. His work would soon begin to strive towards the ultimate boon, immortality through art. To this end, Hirst allowed himself to be swallowed by that whale that is his entire body of work. He is a contemporary Jonah or Dhul Nun in Arabic, who from inside the belly of an enormous fish ponders the outside world and its physical boundaries. Physical impossibility, while part of the title from one of his most infamous artworks, the physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone living from 1991, is also a central issue of Hirst's development in his works. The same may be said for his spot paintings, which manifest the human eye a push beyond the realms of possibility in their infinite variations of size and color. The spot paintings relate to the idea of drugs and their capacity to transform themselves in accordance with the mutations of human needs and diseases. A futile race, where true healing is always postponed by the appearance of a new drug. The spots and the drugs that they arbitrarily refer to express another physical impossibility, that of the human body not to decay. Damien Hirst has created a new system of symbols in a new mythology. He does not invent anything new, but simply follows the set of rules and the grid within which the culture of humanity has operated, in order to create a unique religious, social, and cultural narrative. He applies his own system of signs, which are always, however, borrowed from life. In this new template, Hirst inserts one of the most archaic subjects, the mother, the universal goddess, to whom he immediately imposes the ultimate timeless trauma, separation. In Mother and Child, Divided from 1993, which shows a severed cow and her severed calf, Hirst seems to visually quote Rembrandt's The Slaughtered Ox from 1640, while alluding to emotion in the context of modern psychoanalysis. Here, mother and child are divided in multiple ways, both from each other and within themselves. The ego and the self, a space in between the bisected animals, allow the viewer to intrude and break the primordial union and intimacy between a mother and her child. The theatrical and immediate effect of this work once again conveys the physical impossibility of remaining as one in the course of our life, and more poignantly of remaining bound to the womb that generated us. Hirst, as the hero of his own epic, expresses the tragic awareness that once sliced in two, the physical and spiritual world cannot be reunited again, at least naturally. That only through illusion can a certain unity be regained. The more we venture into Hirst's macrocosm, the more we discover his extreme efforts to strengthen such illusions, to discover ways and tools through which we can reconnect with the microcosm of our spirit and soul. Hirst feels the responsibility as an artist to answer the viewer's quest for the loss of unity. Again and again, physical impossibility returns as a central issue in Hirst's challenge, a challenge that becomes even stronger when confronted with failure.